Your daughters?
It's Christmas. Merry Christmas. Tell her tell her Merry Christmas. Tell her I love her. And I miss her very much. No. I'm not trying to talk to her for you, honey. I'm just getting pancakes with a killer sponsor. Yes. Rashad. Oh, yeah, little man. Oh.
You have grandkids?
What a voice he has on him, right? Like, how tall is he about now? Is he? Look, here. Merry Christmas, honey.
It was great to know more about him. He's a nice person, he suffered and people suffered because of him. But he's trying to keep the connection with his daughters and all.
How long you been clean?
17 years. By the grace of God. You want to know if I was interested in dating or if I was interested in getting clean? Because the answer is yes to both of those questions. I had to not be in a relationship so that I could focus on my sobriety. Everything that's good to you ain't always good for you.
What do you have to say to somebody who doesn't have a whole lot of hope?
Trouble don't last always if you want to make a change.
You have that in you. What did you do during this season 1?
I still blame Jules for all this shit.
Why?
Yes.
I was like gonna stay clean.
For her, not for you.
Yeah,
What pills do you run?
I wasn't taking them.
You were saving them.
Yeah,
Even though you just said you were going to stay clean.
she cheated on me. And I was so hurt.
You became a relationship that night.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just kissing. You two talked about being together.
Thank you.
That's so weird.
No, it's not.
How can we talk about it?
Because that's how people get into relationships. Really talk.
Yes, by saying
You make me say I love you.
Tell them to my barber.
that's wrong. Stop using that word in vain to everyone. I don't like that.
Matching tattoos on the inside of our lips.
Did you?
No, we talked about it.
You didn't?
Okay.
We saw it, no?
I didn't think she was actually gonna, like leave me.
Leave the town. All of our issues.
She kind of said something off in my head, you know. People make all these fucking promises.
It tricked out you.
Telling my dad's gonna be alright. Jules told her how we're gonna live together, and then just me.
She didn't.
She met another girl.
She said that she loved you both.
Made me think about how everyone lies.
You didn't follow her because you needed
It's
to
not
stay.
lie for her. You know, maybe this is the universe's punishment for me being a piece of shit my entire life. Well, yeah, I've hit my mom in the face. I picked up a piece of glass and I pointed at my mom and I threatened to kill her.
What?
Maybe I deserve to get my ass left.
It's not working like that.
Drugs change who you are. It's supposed to.
Still unforgivable.
No, it's not.
I can't believe you did that.
Means I'm a piece of shit.
Look deeper.
I am violent to someone I love because that's who I am.
No.
Means I'm okay with that.
No, you're not.
Because it's shitty, it's cruel, and it's mean, and my mom doesn't deserve that. Certain emotional disorders.
You sure it's that? Not just because you're a terrible person. Because it could just be because you're a piece of shit.
He
Drug issues and
made you change your mind.
And your punishment, the sentence you're giving yourself is that you, Rue Bennett, are beyond forgiveness. See, you should just fuck the fuck off forever and go down together because that's what this girl, this piece of shit deserves. So now you got a whole bunch of people running around who don't give a fuck
Yeah.
about redemption. That's
Thank you.
Tell me what to be done.
I believe in redemption.
I grew up in a house where my dad used to beat on my mama. He was a drunken, cold son of a bitch. But eventually, my mama up and left him and took me and my sister with her, and life goes on. I would never, ever be like my dad.
Until
And then I got married. I was using, and my wife wasn't having it. We were fighting every night. And it got physical.
no.
Two little girls watching. And I thought, a grown man with two girls, and they just watched me hit the mom in the face. That's rock bottom. Drugs will fundamentally change who you are as a human being. Every moral, every principle. There's no force stronger on planet Earth than that next fix. Maybe these go well. Maybe they last. But the one thing I know is true is that the longer you do drugs, the more you're going to lose. You still think I'm a good person?
Yeah.
You're trying to be one to repair your fault.
Thought of maybe being a good person. That's what keeps me trying to be a good person.
That's the spirit.
Some people might disagree with it. My youngest daughter, for one. Marie.
I just don't like plan on being here that long.
Alive?
That's the tough part about all this, you know? Because I love talking to you. I do. And I agree with almost everything you're saying.
The thing I miss about doing drugs is the beauty. Everything is gonna be okay.
That's a lie.
The world's just really fucking ugly, you know?
Not always.
Everybody seems to be okay with it, you know?
No, we're all dealing with our own stuff, my dear.
The anger. Everyone just out to make everyone else not see me human. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't even want to witness it.
That's the hard part, in my opinion.
A large part of what makes this life worth living. You gotta believe in poetry. The value of two people sitting in a dining, talking about life, addiction, loss. You care about the big things in life. Obviously, you don't care about the small things, like being right, being angry. Look
You
at me.
care about what you did to your mom, to your sister.
I love talking to you. Because we talk about the real shit. The shit that matters. What do you want to be when you leave this earth? You said you weren't going to be here much longer. How do you want your mom and sister to remember you?
It hurts really to see her like that. The question on itself, everything hurts.
Listen, I tried really hard to be someone I could.
I got faith in you.
Because you have regrets and you want to change.
Granted, I was a Christian before I became a Muslim, so I've been wrong before.
Same. At the end of the episode, the zoom on her face, it's lasting long, but it's so well done. Sam Levinson, you're breaking me each time. You know what? This last scene is leaving me with the same feeling that this entire special episode, you know, is making me feel. I don't know what it meant. She was thinking about that conversation, about our life, about stuff, but at the same time, she was not so good, you know. She was still a little high, her eyes were lost, you know, like that, like when you're thinking a lot, but when you're also lost, you know. Does it mean, you know, that she decided that that's it, it was the end, she was not gonna take drugs, she was gonna stay clean again and all? I don't know. I don't know what she decided at the end of this moment of thoughts. Like, I don't know if this conversation was a total switch for her, and because of that conversation she's gonna stay clean again, because this conversation was the one who had that impact on her. But I don't know if for drugs addicts there is really one conversation like that. Because I'm not one, but also because of all of what they said during this episode, the fact that you have to deal with that for life, and the fact that maybe you're gonna stop for some times, but it's gonna still be a temptation for life, and maybe you're gonna fail again and again get clean. It's like that. So no, I don't know if it was that big conversation. I don't know if she's gonna stop right now. I don't know what this moment at the end really meant. Also, you know, about that opening scene with Jules, if it was something that happened, which is gonna happen, or if it was just the dream, you know, that they had together. So she was fantasizing about that. I don't know. Maybe that we're gonna discover that, you know, during the next season. But for now, I don't know, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I really don't think that this episode was about getting a final answer about that. Because of what I just said, the fact that she's gonna have to deal with that for life, but also because it was not the message of this episode, one of the few messages of this episode. I loved that episode so much. It was such a powerful episode. It was not a regular one. I mean, the carnival episode was not a regular one, you know, how it was done. I said it, the carnival episode, we had all music, the movements of the camera were faster than usually because we were into that atmosphere of carnival and roller coasters, but also because of all of these bad things which were happening and all of these big secrets revealed. It was for having us into that tension mode and all. But right there, it was even more not a regular episode because we were only with Rue and it was only one big moment, you know. It was only a conversation between Rue and Ali. Okay, we had the opening scene, okay, we had Ali on the parking and learning more about him, and I loved that. To know him more, to discover more about his life, about what he suffered, but also what people suffered because of him. But yes, it was just about this conversation and what they told to each other. I mean, they talked about so many stuff, about death, about losing someone that you love, about religion, you know, God, about drugs, of course, about addiction, about not lying to yourself, about so many things. And I think that there are so many messages with that episode, and the messages were more important than the answer, you know. Is she gonna stop to take drugs because of this conversation? That's not what this episode was about. It was also a lot about how life can be difficult and fighting for life, you know, to live, even if it's difficult, what you want to leave behind you also. That was a rough part. I think that part hits me more than the other ones, maybe because it's more something, you know, that I thought about myself, so maybe that's why I was hurt more by that moment, but all of these moments were powerful. I can see that. And again, the fact that it was one only moment, that conversation, that wonderful actress and that wonderful actor, how good they were during these moments, that was deep and that was emotional without being too much, you know, without being just tears and tears. And it was a silent moment, you know, no music during this conversation. We had only one and it was a break, you know, during the episode. All of the rest of the episode is without music, silent. And for that kind of conversation, silent is really more powerful because we are focused on the conversation, on the words. Because the words and what they are really saying to each other is important and is bringing the emotions. We are not, you know, guided by the music to feel emotions. I really loved this episode. Did I say it enough? I think that is the episode of Euphoria for which I cried the most, and I think that it's my favorite. The Carnival was my favorite before, now it's this one, because I can see how powerful it is. And the fact that they are breaking that thing, you know, about regular episodes, the rhythm of the show, but also how they are doing it, because I mean, I said it a lot during this season 1, I loved the fact that they paid attention so much to the aesthetic of the show, to the lights, the colors, the movements of the camera and all. We didn't have that a lot. The picture was great, you know, but the transition between, you know, angles of camera and the movements of the camera, it was not that, you know, impressive. but it was also fitting with the fact that it was a conversation about real stuff, okay? We were into real stuff. We were not into a mood moment. We were not... That was a real conversation, real stuff, big stuff. And it's also clever, you know, not do an episode like you did before. Maybe it would have felt too much. Understand what I mean? I appreciated it. It's a good way to finish this binge watching of Euphoria. Better than after the episode 8. You know, after the episode 8 I felt sad, depressed and hopeless. This episode is not leaving me with a lot of hope for the characters. It doesn't change that. I'm feeling more okay, less sad, because even if it was not a joyful episode, you know, a shiny one and all, I'm connected more with the messages of this episode. I loved it. Tell me, what did you think about that special episode? You know, I don't know how many times did you have to wait for that special episode since the first season ended. I don't know that, because me, I just binge watched everything just like that. So tell me that, and tell me if you appreciated it, you know. For me, it's fitting well with the first season, but because of the fact that it's not an episode which is made like the regular episodes of the season 1, I hope that you were not, you know, disappointed by that. I hope that you saw everything that I saw during this episode. I think that it's really another thing, you know, for me to watch it like that after the season 1, just after it, and for you to have to wait to watch it and maybe to have some expectations about what can be that special episode. I think that we are not receiving, you know, that special episode in the same way. I think that my way of watching it, receiving it just after binge watching the first season is maybe the ideal way to watch it. So tell me, how did you feel about the fact that this episode was just a conversation, you know, between Rue and Ali? If it disturbed you, disappointed you or not, I'm interested by that. Okay, so this is all for Euphoria, the season 1, and my binge watching of this show for now. If you want to stay with me, I'm reacting to other shows. You just have to check my channel, you know, and all of the playlists that I made for each shows that I'm reacting to. Right now, I mean, a lot of shows that I was reacting to are finished, but I think that I'm still reacting to 12 or 13 shows which are still out. So maybe we are watching same shows and maybe you can want to stay with me for them. But if you don't, I will see you for the next season of Euphoria, which is gonna come, I don't know when, because like I said, for avoiding spoilers, I didn't make any researches about this show, so I don't know. I'm gonna discover that right now. So it's all for Euphoria, for this season 1 and this special episode for you and for me. So it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Crazy.